And you made 8 people for that.
And we already started.
So, hi! So many people. Yeah. I was thinking about having maybe a jingle in the beginning, but I didn't have any time. So I think next time, you know, I will have like this fake crowd like cheering for me when I'm, yeah, she's coming! But yeah, so welcome to the Grand Mess. Actually, it's not, today is not really the Grand Mess because my dear friend Liliana is not here. She's actually selling herself in London. Yeah. So okay, not for free, not for sex. It's not really for sex, but she's working for something called the Full Moon Cabaret. It's really great if you have the occasion to see it, the possibility to see it in Berlin. I really encourage you to go there because if you like burlesque and if you like comedy, it's actually a good mix. And if you don't like burlesque and comedy, maybe you like Liliana, so I don't know, maybe you can try, have a try. It's really great. It's touring right now in London, so it's kind of, it's a sign that it's working. It's maybe, I don't know, it's really great. It's today, touring right now in London, so it's kind of, maybe. It's a sign that it's no, but really thank you for coming and I don't know, for being here. I just want to tell you that this kind of donation that maybe, so it's a sign that it's no, but really thank you for coming and I don't know, for being here. I just want to tell you that it's something really special for the people living in Berlin. You know what I am talking about. We were waiting for spring, I mean, since last winter. It does mean that since last September. And it finally came like 1 week ago. So enjoy it. If you have a sunburn, it's going to be the only one for the whole year. So cherish your sunburn, be happy about it, brag about it, because it's not going to happen again. So yeah, the weather in Berlin is, I don't know how to define it. I would say like, the weather is shit. I would say like this. The weather is shit, and this is quite good today because the weather is wechselhaft, like we say in German. Wechselhaft, I think it's a really good, it's passing to the weather here is really ugly, the word, so you can understand what I'm saying, what I mean. And yeah, because today I only have a lot of jokes about spring. This is good that spring is not here yet, so we can make fun of this bitch. Yeah, being funny in spring is not really easy. Well, actually, so it's never easy, especially for me. But in spring, I have something like, I don't know about you, but I noticed like in spring, I'm getting depressed. No? No one?
No.
Why? It's actually quite easy to understand. I have like something called hormones. That's why. And a lot of them, too much. You can see it. If you do like this, you can see that I have a lot of hormones.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the hormones are a bitch anyway. But yeah, so right now for me, to prepare this show, it was really complicated for me because I wasn't feeling it at all. I mean, I wasn't feeling funny at all. You will see. And yeah, also like for spring, I was trying to find this, to find back my beach body, you know? Yeah. Still lying somewhere on the floor at my place, I don't know where, maybe like under the bed, like full of dust and rotting somewhere, but the problem is, really my beach body is going to be this one, I think. Oh, okay, with way less clothes, but you don't want to see it anyway, so. Okay, so the thing is, this is a talk show, so I'm going to talk a lot. But you also invited to talk to me if you want to. So, so I'm not mean. I'm not angry at you. I'm really happy that you're here. So you can talk to me only. The only moment where you are allowed to talk is when I talk to you. Okay? So something that I really don't like is being interrupted. You will notice it quite soon. Yeah, talking about the weather. Let's talk about the weather like good people who don't know each other. Talk about the weather is always good. It's so not offensive for anyone. So yeah, I noticed when I came that it was raining. I don't know. Yeah, it was raining. Okay, I came in the morning. Let's say I came in the morning because actually, so when I was getting ready, it was raining, but it was a long time ago anyway. And I was thinking like maybe we will have like the chance again to have snow in May. It happens in Berlin.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it happens in Berlin. I live for 10 days. I'm a Berliner for 10 days, for 10 years now, and I know what I'm saying. It's happening a lot actually. It can snow in Berlin in May. So just be prepared. Don't be too happy about the 2 hours of sun that you got. But yes, it's something that is. So the weather in Berlin is because it's always changing. Is something also really good for maybe not for us, but for the plants. I don't know if you noticed that Berlin is a really green city and gray, green and gray. But I really enjoy it. This is so green because I went to New York. Yeah, it happened. I went to New York and everybody in New York is bragging about Central Park. I mean, we have fucking Tiergarten.
Yeah.
It's way better than Central Park. I'm sorry, when I went there, it was like, those are trees? I mean, like this? There are trees. Okay, so you should come to Berlin. But anyway, yeah, I really love plants. But the thing is, but they don't love me. Yeah, I really have like, I don't have, how you call it? So I have really long fingers, but they are not green. You know, I don't have any green finger. You can ask my boyfriend. My boyfriend is here. You can don't be ashamed. Yeah. You can ask my boyfriend. I'm really bad with plants. Actually, I should work for Bayer or Monsanto, I think, because no, really, I can kill a cactus. Really, I managed to kill the most resistant plant in the world, like a cactus. I don't know how I did this, but anyway, so I think it's dead somewhere at my place. My boyfriend bought me like a cactus for winter. You know the special winter cactus? Yeah, they are special. He knew about it. He knew that I was really bad with plants, and he bought this extra resistant cactus and everything. I put it on my balcony. And I was happy about this because like this cactus you have to water it like twice a year. I drowned it. I don't know. I don't know how I did it, but anyway. So yeah, and but I really love cactus because so this is the nickname of my boyfriend. He's calling me like Poussin. It does mean chick in French. So it's cute, and I call it cactus. So because I really love cactus because for me they are like, you know, we're gays, so we are men, we are really manly, you can see it. When we are dating each other, we are not offering like roses to each other, it's cactus. You know, the cactus is the mask for mask rose. So it's actually really like strong and powerful. That's why I really like cactus. And they are also like, they are phallic. So, yeah, so what I wanted to say about gardening. There is something really special in Germany that I really don't understand is, yeah, when it's springtime in Berlin, I mean the 2 weeks of spring in Berlin, you will notice something. The first sign of springtime coming in Berlin is is more and more of those kind of advertisement. You know what it is? Me neither. No, really. Who's German here? Okay, so that's perfect. That's perfect. Let's make fun. They're not here, so no one would say like, so you're fucking racist. So the thing is, this is an advertisement for Hornbach. Hornbach is what we call in German Bauhaus. So they are selling like tools, like shovels and everything, and also plants, a lot of plants. And this is the advertisement for this, and this also for plants. And I really don't understand. It doesn't mean like, so this is the crown of the heroes. Okay. Okay, so this is, so Germans are mysterious anyway. I have also this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like you want to buy plants right now? I don't know. If I look like this when I'm gardening, I don't want to. No, so this is something that actually looks a little bit like my ex-boyfriend. No, really, my ex-boyfriend is old. He's over 40, so he's old. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gay. When you're gay, over 20, you're dead anyway.
Oh, no. Mean.
I'm 32, I'm already done. And I look, in drag, I look like 55. No, the problem with, so with my ex-boyfriend, he really looks like some people know my ex-boyfriend, he looks like Thorsten. He's German anyway. So the thing is, Thorsten really loves gardening too because he's German.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and he's really into plants and everything. He wrote his master, like, so, in the university about garden, about French gardens, British gardens, and German gardens. But the German gardens were like, this part was like this. I mean, so it's not a book. It's not like this, you know. So in the book you have like a paragraph like this about German gardening. And we have a really beautiful balcony, really close to here in Charlottenburg. It's really green, it's really beautiful. I'm not allowed to go on the balcony. No, really, it's not a joke. When I'm going, so it's. But yeah, so I don't really like the balcony in winter. It's sad and cold and everything, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about something else about the gardening here. How would it? Like this. Reminds me of my boyfriend too, my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, do you know, in Germany they have something called Schrebergarten. Do you know this? Yeah, you will notice. I'm really prepared for this. I did so much work. Yeah, Schrebergarten are something like, I would say like shared gardens. You know it? Okay, so is someone coming from France here? No, okay. Where are you from? Finland, yeah, I know, yeah. But in Finland you don't have garden anyway, it's too cold. So you have solars, it's the same. So the thing is, the Schrebergarten in Germany are a little bit like in France. We have something called factory workers' gardens. It's actually like gardens for poor people, the factory workers, and they can share it, and they pay a monthly rent, and so they can have like a small garden if they don't have one in their house. So I think it's a really good idea. Now it's not possible in France anymore to rent such a garden, especially in Paris. It's like, I mean, like, you don't have to work in a factory to have it. You have to own a factory to rent this kind of garden. It's fucking expensive. But here in Germany, they have something called Schrebergarten. And the Schrebergarten is a little bit like this. It's basically a privatized public garden. Yeah, so it was created in the 19th century by someone called Peter Hausschild, and he wanted to do a playground for free for all children, you know, like, and in this wonderful playground in Leipzig, he decided, why not like putting some plants and vegetables and fruits that the children can so discover the nature and everything. The children, they didn't give a fuck. No, really, they don't care. You know, a child just wants to eat the fruit. They don't want to cultivate anything. But the grown-ups, they noticed it and they said, oh, it's a good idea. Remember, Leipzig, 19th century, there were like half of the people were dying because of hunger and everything. So they were happy to have this, and they decided to do a real garden out of it, a shared garden. And you know how to change something from, so, a children thing to a grown-up thing? It's really easy.
Alcohol.
What?
Alcohol?
Alcohol, yes.
Alcohol? Yeah, it's, you know, it's Leipzig in the middle of the 19th century. Children were alcoholic. So, no, it's, you just have to put fences all around and rules. A lot of rules. So yeah, so it's grown-ups and German. German grown-ups, you can imagine how many rules they wrote about them. So actually in the Schrebergarten, the thing that grows on trees are not fruits, they are rules everywhere. So, no, really. So you have to ask almost administrative authorization to eat an apple. You know, really, this is a friend of mine, actually a colleague of mine, well, not really friend. I don't like my colleagues, so we're only colleagues. A colleague of mine, so she has a Schrebergarten, and once she brought the book of rules from her garden. I'm not joking. You see those books? You see it? This is one book of the rules from Schrebergarten. It's really extremely a lot of rules. So it's regulated happiness there. You know, like, so you're happy, you have to be happy because it's written in this fucking book. So, and they, in the Schrebergarten, what is also really interesting is when you're traveling with the S-Bahn, you can see some of them. You know those gardens with a lot of flags in it?
Westhafel.
Oh, yeah, example. Or when you go to, because I work in Potsdam, so I see a lot of them on the way, like, so close to Grunewald. And I noticed that there, actually the thing that is growing most and the quickest there is there are flags. I don't know why they have to put flags everywhere, especially German ones. I don't know, yeah, so they just want to say like, this is my land, this is my part of my land, yeah, okay. And you can also give a name to your garden. So most of the time it's called Morgengroß. It sounds horrible, but it's a really nice name actually. It's so saying hello to the sun, you know, like, happy hippie shit. Yeah, Morgengroß. Yeah, so you have so Morgengroß, you have also like Heimatliebe, a lot of Heimatliebe there, a lot. In each of Heimatliebe gardens, you all at least have one flag, and you might have another flag from the region. And yeah, so it's not really beautiful to see, but you have also, you can call your garden and by any name, you know. So if you want to call it like, I don't know, like Fictitious Knie beim Vogelsang, it's nice. It's also go fuck yourself when the birds are singing. So why not actually? But yeah, and I found something in this book. So in this book of rules from the Schrebergarten, you have to. It's not a joke. You really have to be happy. I mean, you have to be. So in the. I think it's. I wrote really like the paragraph. Yeah, it's on the page 36, the paragraph 34, and the absatz 4. It's written that you have to live there peaceful and in harmony. So I don't know. I think like how so Germans are not really the most peaceful person in a way, and really they are also looking for compromising, but they are not peaceful. And yeah, so the thing with the Schrebergarten is it has to be like gemütlich, like so, you know, like comfortable to be together and everything. But they also have, like in each Schrebergarten, in each colony, they have like always like competition, the biggest carrot, the biggest everything. And so, yeah, no, really. No, maybe they are compensating anything like that. But they really have something like this. So this, it's all about, so I think it's a really nice, I don't know, an accept from the German culture, you know, like we're nice, but we're fucking competitive, and we're gonna destroy you, but with a smile. You know, so it's really like this. Yeah, the Germans are so I live, as I said, like I lived in Germany for 10 years. No, I'm lying, 8. So it's almost the same, but so anyway, it felt like 10 years. And yeah, I noticed that Germans are still a mystery for me. So we have this. I don't know why they have so many rules. They're really not. So it's not the land of freedom. But well, if I like Germany, that's why I'm still staying here. So and I have the chance to stay here. I will do a show once about the good thing I find in Germany. I think it's going to be the shortest show ever. And I'm going to ask for €8 for it. But it's going to be really German. It's going to be like really like short, but really effective. You know? And I can do it like with a smile. So it's going to be like so gemütlich, effective, and short. It's really just so really German. Yeah. So. Does someone is into gardening here? Yeah, so we live in Berlin, so you don't really have to garden here, so you have Tiergarten, as I say, if you want to. You know that during the war, Tiergarten was a really extremely, like an immense field of potatoes. Yeah, because actually something quite interesting during the war, people died. And to avoid that the people die also because of hunger, they use the Tiergarten for potatoes. And you know what did they use for meat? The animals from the zoo. Wow. Yeah, and rats, and cats, and dogs, and probably children. But
only the ugly ones.
Yeah, only the ugly ones. Yeah, so back to... Oh. So I'm blossoming, so I'm feeling like really my spring fantasy right now with the wind and the hair coming in my mouth. But anyway, yeah, about spring, like, as I said, like, I don't like spring because of, how do you call it, like, yeah, the hormones. Hormones, do you know this really good series called Big Mouth? Oh God! You really have to see it. It's really, really funny. It's a series about teenagers who are turning. So it's the story of the puberty, and so you have like to symbolize the puberty. You have 2 huge monsters. Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon, yeah. And you have a guy. So you have the male monster. Is always telling the kids to masturbate every time, and you have the female monster, and the female monster is really she's big, she's beautiful, she has boobs like this, and she has really long hair and everything, and she's like, oh, you smell so good. Yeah, it's because I don't wear deodorant, and I'm only taking bubble bath, and she's always like making the little girls fight with their parents. And so when the little girls are turning into teenagers, it's like, so from now on, your mother is not called mother anymore, or mom anymore. You will call her Sharon, and you will hate her, and you will scream at her the whole time. And they are really like this, and it's really funny to see. But I was talking about hormone monsters, and this is actually the best transition I can find to introduce Bob. So Ba is a famous writer, so he's gonna be a famous writer. When I'm gonna tour in London, he's gonna be famous. He wrote this book available on iTunes. That's not on iTunes, but you can find it here anyway, or Amazon. And it's called Naked Berlin, and it's all about being gay and being. So, what is being? What does it mean to be gay in the city of Berlin? And what can this city offer to you, and what is actually this city stealing from you? But it's really funny. It's kind of sexy. I felt like, ooh, it feels like 50 Shades of Gay. Not really. So if you're a man and if you're gay, so you're lucky first, and then the thing is, when you're a man, don't take it on the train with you. Not really. You know, I remember when I'm always taking the train to go to my work, and so I was like this, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And then you're like this, because I have to work anyway. But this is a really good book. This is hot. This is funny. This is sometimes really like emotional. And Bai is gonna read an excerpt from your book. So you just like listen and let the lust coming into you. So liberate your hormones. And then we make love.
Thank you for that introduction. So yes, my book is Naked Berlin, and I know none of you were born in Berlin, but some of you may like. Would any of you call yourself a Berliner?
Yeah, me.
Yeah. What?
Berliner.
Berliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet nowadays, yeah.
We're all Berliner.
We're all Berliners. And we can all think about how we became a Berliner, what is our origin story. And in Naked Berlin, you learn about 4 of their, how they became Berliners.
And Kennedy is not one of them. Because you know that Kennedy said like, ich bin ein Berliner, and it's wrong in German. It doesn't mean I'm a donut. Mm-hmm. So a Berliner is a cake. And if you say like, ich bin ein Berliner, it's wrong. It doesn't mean like I'm a donut or I'm a good piece of cake. But it is cute from him. So you are, ich bin Berliner. Yeah.
So I'm going to read to you an excerpt. Let's start with the story from the beginning. Chapter 1, K. Keys jiggle at the apartment door, and I abandon my text message, suck my, with a frantic press of the home button. Emails. I'm reading emails as I sit at the heavy kitchen table. Helmut enters with a bouquet of lilies. He grabs a black vase and places the flowers in front of me, and the green and pink fragrance mingles with the smell of vanilla cake. He bakes for my birthday. You look good in that shirt, he says, and squeezes my shoulder as I hold my breath. He returns to the oven and stands with his back to me. I breathe. Helmut is 18 years older than I am, and we've been together for the last 5. I met Helmut when his hair was still dark and his jawline firm. After 50, the visible signs of aging are dramatic. His ass has no shave, his hair is long despite being Chernobyl sparse on top, and the folds of flesh under his jaws are visible when he turns to smile at me. With screen locked, I set my phone aside. I go to the bathroom. With the door closed, I sigh. Is this how I ever pictured my 33rd birthday? I am Canadian but live in Berlin. I live with a man who loves me, but his friends are older than he is, and they're dying. Cancer, last stages of AIDS, bad knees. Helmut coughs from years of cigarettes, and with each cough, I resent his love. I'm 33 and should be living a carefree life, not one saddled with aches and pains from semi-retirement. Helmut is very German, and there is a sign by the toilet which shows a stick man standing while pissing, slashed with a red line. Fuck that. I unzip and let the urine splatter from standing height. I hate these shelf toilets, something so despicably German. They save water, but a platform is built into the bowl to collect urine and other excrement, and my waste sits there like it's on display in a shop window. Kay, Helmut screams. I flush and watch everything dissipate in the swirls of clear water. I wash my hands, and they're still wet when I open the door to see Helmut holding my phone and pointing it at me like a knife. Who is this Georg? Shit. Notifications. A guy who lives nearby, I say. A guy who lives nearby, Helmut repeats, and loves the taste of your cock. He throws the phone at me. The screen cracks when it lands on the hardwood floor. Arschloch. In German is sexy when barked in anger. Helmut's eyes are as wet as my hands, and his teeth are bared. Is he more disgusted by the sex or betrayal? Are there more? Georg and Uwe, I say. They're men my age. I don't know if I should say more. Explaining my selfish reasoning won't help. That they haven't lost interest in sex. That I miss the feeling of young flesh against me. That their asses are perky and shapely. Were you safe with them? Now I twist my mouth and he goes, yes, of course fucking yes. Helmut covers his face with his palms. Then his hands withdraw, his fingers leave pink trails on his puffy cheeks. His eyes narrow and he commands in slow and deliberate English, get out. I stand still. What was I expecting to happen? Kay, get out. I panic. Get out? Where will I go? I moved from Winnipeg to Berlin for him. I don't have family here and know only people from work. Without Helmut, I'm an alien in this country. Kay, I can't stand looking at you. Get out now, get out! Helmut screams the last two words and his face reddens by rage. I pick up my phone and grab my backpack with its University of Manitoba stitching on the front. I walk down the stairs. Helmut's expressions and twisted features means he hates me. I'm outside. It's January in Berlin. Trees bare, sun blocked by dark clouds, and the building's colors fade to gray, like black and white films about Berlin, about the war. My next steps could mean life or death. Turn right to hide in a basement cafe. I sit down and watch legs and leather boots walk past. I recognize the woman's gait. She's Helmut's friend and suffers from bad knees. She walks with hopes for a fun dinner party, but will instead find a crying old man. A waiter comes to my table. He wears a white shirt framed in a black vest. Weinglas Sekt bitte, I order. German sparkling wine. It is still my birthday. A young woman wearing a backpack walks in. She scans the cafe and sits down and pulls out her Berlin guidebook. When the waiter approaches her, she asks, do you speak English? He nods. Coffee, please. They spend a few minutes discussing coffee options. And a glass of water. Sparkling or still, the waiter asks. Tap water, I think, she clarifies. The waiter looks annoyed. Tourists from North America beware. One does not order tap water in Europe. That used to be me. I used to be naive. I was a country bumpkin from Winnipeg. I marveled at churches and castles like the other hordes of backpackers bust around Europe. I received a text message from Mike, another Canadian I met months ago at a party named Queer Beer. Free for drinks at my place? He doesn't know it's my birthday. Of course he doesn't. Only Helmut knows. What do I do now? Another message. It's from Georg. BF just left. Your cock not only tastes good, but feels good inside me. Come over and fuck me, please. When in doubt, fuck. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Then I add, today is my birthday. A special birthday blowjob then. My sect comes, I drink it without the glass ever leaving my lips. Phone clings to the side when I put the glass down, and the tourist stares at me. Welcome to Berlin, I say, leave money on the table and head out. At Georg's place, I push the button beside Schmidt-Führing on the intercom and push the heavy door open once it buzzes. We are in Charlottenburg, a wealthy part of West Berlin. The buildings that survived the war are opulent and hint at the former glory of the capital. The house has a front garden, and the entryway has a curved, domed ceiling with a chandelier. A wide spiral staircase leads to mystery and magnificence on the upper levels. Georg, however, lives in the Hinterhaus, a nondescript building hidden in the back. These apartments behind the opulence were for servants who cooked and cleaned for masters living in the front. The stairwell here is narrow and dark. Georg's door is ajar and squeaks when I push to enter. As I walk toward the living room, the floorboards creak under my shoes. Georg sits naked atop a blue throw on the brown leather couch. We never fuck in the bedroom. He's tall, his arms stretched out to half the couch's length, and his legs are so long that his calves rest on the floor. His torso, large and hairless, glistens in pink glory. His cock is very German, uncut and even pinker than the rest of his body. I approach him. Gert purrs like a kitty when I'm close. He purrs like a tiger when he squeezes my pecs. A blowjob is definitely better than cake. I grab the lube and condoms. I use my teeth to rip open the wrap. Your cock is beautiful. Fuck me with it, please. I don't know whether I would sound any less awkward talking dirty in German. Do blast good? Or is there an umlaut somewhere in that sentence? I turn him around like a dog. I push inside him and am greeted by the smell of sex. Georg's breath's running ragged, his tongue laps the navy blue cloth, and his neck and back flush red. I begin with slow thrusts. I'm consumed by a feeling of power as I fuck this tall specimen of a man. Fuck and groan, thrust and moan. Georg, bist du da? Ich hab was vergessen. The boyfriend, oh shit, the boyfriend walks in. He has a beard and is just as tall, but with a belly camouflaged by a blazer. Thrust, thrust. I should stop, right? The sound of the boyfriend's shoes stop. Ein Asiate, Georg? Das hatte ich nicht erwartet. You never expect your boyfriend to ask someone Asian? Well, I never expect. I should stop, right? The sound of the boyfriend's shoes stop. He walks to a desk and has Asiate, Georg? Das hatte ich nicht erwartet. Then steps out with a very never expect your boyfriend to ask someone Asian? Well, I never go soft and pull out. I should be peeved or angry, but instead feel like a popped balloon. It's no problem, Georg says. We have an open relationship. Sorry, I can't, I say. I put on my clothes, images of helmets and our past flood my mind. The holidays spent by the sea, in the mountains, and in villages with all homes painted white. I'm not only homeless, I'm also a betrayer. I'm back outside. The street lights flicker on. Unfortunately, it's not raining. What do I do now? I stare past the traffic and naked trees to find an answer. I then see the tourist from the cafe, this time carrying a smaller bag. She steps to one side to avoid a group of people chatting. But she blocks the red brick path reserved for bicycles. And no one is as rude with the rules as a Berliner on a bike. Ting ting! That's just enough time for her to jump out of the way, but she crashes onto the cobblestone sidewalk, the contents of her bag spilling out for all to see. I rush over. Her face blushes, and although there are tampons and condoms on the pavement, she reaches first to pick up her guidebook, Berlin through the back door. I smile. Are you okay? I ask, change my lips to a pout of concern. Yes, just embarrassed. She brushes the dust off her clothes. Can you tell me where Wiesenstein restaurant is? Good choice, I say. It's straight down the street. Then, after considering what straight down might mean to a North American, I say, the street hits an intersection and will curve 45 degrees left, but it's still the same street. Thank you. She walks away, glancing ever so often at the ground to make sure that she doesn't step on the red bicycle lane. I'm not her. I might be homeless, but I'm no tourist. I'm a Berliner. I may have messed up, but life goes on. Another day, another party, another moment to fuck things up. I call Mike. Hey, I'd like to join you. How long will you be there? We're finishing up, Mike says. We're going to GMF soon. Want to meet us there? Sure. Do you know where it is? GMF. I know where it is. Not just Berliner, a gay Berliner. Yeah, see you in a bit. I'll check into a hotel, take a few days off work, and find another place to live. I'll email Helmut to arrange a time to pick up the rest of my things. Maybe I'll live with a roommate so I don't have to buy tons of furniture. I walk toward the U-Bahn without any need of a map.
So, thank you. I just want to say that this is a fiction. It's not inspired by a past life. Already. And something that it's, so the proof that it's a fiction, you can definitely order tap water in Europe. Maybe not in Germany, but in France, when you are asking for water, you only have tap water anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, so you should go to France. And so you don't have this kind of life in France. It's also something nice. I have like the first of my question. What is a birthday blowjob? I mean, how can be a blowjob special for your birthday? It's not really. I mean, but,
You know, like when it's your birthday, you don't have to reciprocate.
I never reciprocate. I only take. I don't give. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's the gift of giving.
It's a gift of giving.
No, it's the gift of taking, actually. Yeah, so it's a bit,
Oh la la.
yeah, exactly. So I'm French. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I'm dirty sometimes, but yeah. But this is your first book.
Yes.
Does it mean it's going to be other books coming?
I hope so. I've never been happier than when I wrote, and despite how difficult it is to write, it's something that makes me happy, and I know that I will continue. I'm working on another book. Maybe it's a bad idea to have the title before I've actually finished the book. But
yeah, yeah. I imagine like I would call it like love affair, and it's all about war or something. I think it's what happened to Tolstoy when he wrote like war and peace. So it has nothing to do with peace anyway. So.
I have the tentative title of the next book is When the Deer Devours the Wolf.
Is it about sex? If yes, I will buy it.
There's some steamy moments, yes.
As steamy as this book?
Yes.
Oh. No, that's good. That's good because so sex sells anyway.
Yes.
So Ba is not only a really good writer, he's also a really good cook. And so I know that a couple of people knows about Ba's cooking here, and we had these conversations already before. And what I would like to know from you is what is for you the similarities between cooking and writing?
The similarities is in the end, you experience something with a book, you experience something with a meal. And it could be very simple, it could be very complex, but the great meals and the great books are always layers upon layers. And
It's called pages.
And I think that, I think a meal should also tell a little bit of a story, just like a story itself. And so when I cook, I always think, okay, how does it look? Does it, when you see it on the plate, does it make you want to eat it? And then when you eat it, it's not just the texture, it's also the initial flavor, the herbs that you taste at the beginning, the sweet and salty in the middle, and then there's this lingering finish. And when you cook, you kind of make this nice flavor wave. And when you write, you make this nice crescendo as well. So there is a similarity, but I would argue that's life in general. You want this crescendo, this wave.
I was about to say this, yes. So it's what I really like with Ba is every time he's describing something, it always sounds like he's talking about sex. No, but really, it's just like you have this crescendo coming, the salt is coming, and you can feel my spine. What? We were talking about food. Have you ever cooked a book?
No.
You should try. I think it's a good idea. So, and also, yeah, so you're from Canada.
Yes.
As we can see. So what is from you to come, so what does mean spring for you, coming from a country where you have like 364 days of winter.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, you know,
Oh, you're Canadian.
I'm from Vancouver.
Oh my God!
Vancouver is
Oh, no.
very different. Vancouver
It's rainy.
Yes.
more.
365 days of rain.
Yeah.
And there's Finnish people.
Here. I can feel you.
You can feel the connection.
I can feel the connection. I feel the coldness.
Well, I'm kind
The
of
country coldness.
Well, how cold have you experienced in Finland?
I come from the northern part of Finland, and I remember one very cold winter in my childhood, and that was -40, 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh shit.
And oh shit, yes. But we really have to go to school and everything, and our mothers put so much clothes on, but we was nearly unable to walk.
Yeah, actually in Finland you can't walk, you just slide on
Like big wings.
the whole time, yeah, that's good. But at least in Finland you have something else. You have the Santa Claus. They have nothing in Canada.
In Winnipeg it is
Yeah,
than Mars in Winnipeg than it is.
Yeah.
And then in the summer you have mosquitoes. So what does it mean for spring? It means, well, for the plants, it's surprising. The trees, when they know that it's spring, it takes them 2 or 3 days and suddenly it's full green. Like the plants know I only have
2 hours.
Yes.
gotta get out there.
Let's blossom, let's die. It's really like this, the princess song. Yeah.
And I think what it means spring is enjoy, because the winters is harsh and you've made for another winter. And nowadays it's no big deal to go to pass the winter, but in the past, especially in Winnipeg, it was hard, it was tough. So now springtime means enjoy. Let your hormones go crazy, because
It's good.
the winter you can't.
It's good. So then I have a question. Why did you come to fucking Berlin if you want a real spring? So go to Madrid, go to South America. Don't come to Berlin for it. Actually, why did you come to Berlin?
Oh, the men.
Oh, that's good. That's a good.
Like
answer.
all of us.
Actually, it happens to me every time. Like, so when I say that, so I'm from France. Oh, you came to Berlin for men? No, I came for work. oh yeah, I'm in Berlin. There's no work, so let's try the men. So yeah. Yeah. Does anyone have a question for that?
Why you was talking about sex in Berlin and write a book about sex, gay sex, and gay sex, and really gay sex.
He has nothing against gay
It's
sex,
also,
because
no,
it's gay
because it's
also.
also spring and you know, hormones, and you read something like this, and now I'm going to.
So next time we're going to read like 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Bob.
Well, the crazy thing about Berlin, I think years from now, we'll look back to this. It's already starting to die out, but we'll look back to this period of Berlin saying we can never have this feeling again. And there is, yes, it's extremely sexual. It's this extreme freedom. But it also means we're enjoying our lives, and that's something we may not always have. So when I wrote this book, yes, there's all this sex in it, but it's also because it wasn't because I wrote it because that's what Berlin is. That's just what the city is. But it also means the people who live in Berlin live to the extreme. You know how everyone says, live life like it's always your last, or live life like it's always like 10, not a 7. Live life at, you're like, what does that mean really? And I think spending like life like in this book, you sort of, oh, this is what it's like to live life like 10 all the time.
And you're gonna die when you reach like 35, you die of consumption. So, but I totally get your. Actually, not really. I don't understand what does it mean to be like so to live like extreme. I mean, well, maybe. I'm so. If you look at me, I'm a cross-dresser. So I think I do live a little bit extreme. So since I'm in Berlin, so for example, for me, I started to do drag once I was in Berlin. I didn't do drag in my small French village. Actually, we have drag queens there, but
Where?
it's a really, really small village. I don't think you know it. It's called Choisy-au-Bac. You know it? No.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's really small, and we have one drag queen there. And yeah, we have one
The only drag queen in the
Yeah.
village.
But she has,
Only drag queen in the village, yeah.
but she has more audience than I do.
No,
we love you, we love
Thank
you.
But thank you. So, yeah, about thanking you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being one member of the audience. And yeah, I can't wait to read the second book. And if you want to have some, they are here. So he bought them, so you have to buy them back.
I had to buy my own book from Amazon, yes.
Or you can buy it from Amazon. And we'll send it back to Amazon. So, yeah, so now it's time actually for a little break, because even if I'm even if I'm sitting, like my shoes are hurting anyway, and I notice that I have something weird here. Might be drag cancer. I don't know. This is something weird, but anyway. So there is a little break now. So I invite you to have some drinks.
We almost are.
Exactly. You can drink more.
Oh, don't worry, baby. For us, it's not like.
And the other thing is, so we have like 20 minutes break. I will give you, normally I have a bucket, so it's called like, yeah, technology. Bucket time. So the bucket time is not about, like, if you ever went to Monster Monsters on a Tuesday, there is a show called The House of Presents. I'm part of this show. And my mother, but she's not really my mother because she's not even here. If she loved me, she would be here. She had something also like called the bucket. But you have to put money in the bucket. I'm not asking you to put money into the bucket because I don't care about your money. The thing is, I would like you, if you want to write here the worst spring of your life. Okay? What happened for you, so when you are thinking about a really shitty spring, what does it mean? You don't have to do it. If you want to do it, it's funnier because I can make jokes about it, and so trying to be funny about it, so making fun of you. And but you don't have to. You have 20 minutes to drink, to think about it, and then we are back together, and I'm going to do also a couple of numbers.
Ooh. A couple of
Numbers.
All right.
What's the first one?
So, yeah.
Kyllä?
Kyllä.
Can I buy you a drink?
No.
I would love to.
It's not so cold outside. Hello. Summer.
I know, but the last time you went out, you bought me a drink, so I feel like I owe you.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
sure.
So, and I put the second glass of
I
wine
forget.
to, yeah.
No, we are.
No? Okay. 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 砸了钱吧。 Und möchte eine Wein, Weißwein, Weiß und Sweet.
Sweet.
Ja, ja.
Wat is die? Nee.
Hello. Oh, that is nice. Yes, yes. Yeah, fun. Oh, ja, sind Sie sicher? Sind Sie sicher? Also, are you sure? Like, yeah? Oh, thank you, danke. So, danke. How do you say, are you sure in German? After which, how do you say, are you sure? Are you certain? Okay, no, I was wrong. What, you get a free one? You should get a free one.
I found earlier, so I think.
You only get one. Wonderful, congratulations. Can I buy a book?
Yes.
Do I get a discount? No.
Because I don't get a discount.
No. How much?
$16.99.
Excellent, but I would love to get an autograph.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
So I